This Crestwood Cadet Coach Conversation brought to you by Wilson Custom Pre-Service. Head coach Justin Denner as the cadets get set to travel to MFL Marmac this Friday night to open up the 2025 season. And coach, preseason camp thus far, what's made you the most happy?
I've really loved the growth that our guys have shown from day one to now. We've got some guys that were in role kind of player situations last year. Now are in a position where they can be kind of the guy, and the growth that we've seen from those dudes and kind of some of the key positions has been outstanding. And the best part is there's still a lot more to go. And so. We know once games hit and all that type of stuff, we're going to see even a lot more growth due to just the speed picking up and guys learning the process and so forth there. So our guys have done a really good job of trying to improve every day and take step forwards, and that's really all you can ask for.
And I know last Friday night you had a scrimmage situation, kind of a unique setting where three teams other than yourself got together to form a scrimmage last Friday. What did you guys take away from that?
Yeah, first of all, we got away healthy, which is the most important thing. Anytime you get to go in a position going against somebody else, you're praying, especially if it's not a game, to come out healthy, and we did. And we really enjoyed as a coaching staff, really enjoyed having the three teams there because we got to see a bunch of different things. We got to see three different types of offenses. Three different types of defenses. Our guys were able to kind of learn on the fly from different things and adjust from there, which is kind of a mini type of game scenario. And, ultimately we learned, there's a lot of small things that we got to make sure we stay on top of. We had, a few bad plays here and there, and it wasn't like big, huge mistakes. It was just one small thing that, derails the whole deal. And so the importance of being good with the details and so forth there. And, there's a lot of learning from that, and we're excited for that.
I know you don't have as many varsity snaps returning this year as you maybe would have had the last couple of years. That being said, how important was it to see somebody else, to go against somebody else at a game varsity speed last Friday night?
Oh, it was imperative for us, to be able to get out there, get against, guys and so forth. And it's still not the same as being under the lights and a Friday night and being in school all day, and guys being in the jerseys and kind of the butterflies and so forth there. So there's always nothing's going to replicate that other than the actual thing. But to be out there to go against someone that's not somebody and go against somebody that you have no idea who it is, and it's just you versus them. And then if something happens, being able to fix it, right? Facing adversity and so forth there, and being able to practice handling those situations. It was huge for us, and hopefully that'll accelerate, the process for us on Friday night and getting settled in. We've got to be able to handle that process and, get settled in as fast as we can in order for us to be successful. And we're hoping that, with what we did on Friday night, this past Friday, will help make that process much smoother and hopefully help us be successful.
I know you want that process to happen as quickly as possible, but when it comes to the growth and development of especially guys seeing their first real time on varsity, is it one of those maybe be quick but don't hurry type things?
Yeah, 100%. We all know that, guys are the light bulb will click on, or things will happen at a different rate. For some people faster than others, and that's okay. And as coaches, it forces us to be patient, evaluate what it is that we're teaching, how we're teaching it, holding guys, obviously the standard is always the standard, but just understanding that, yep, okay, what little steps have we taken towards meeting, what we want to have happen as far as results go. Because ultimately we don't control results. We just talked about that with our guys tonight of, all you can do is put the best foot forward, and get out there and compete. And, sometimes you're going to compete and you're going to have a dude that's just a dude, and you're going to have to compete against him, and that's okay. Right. And he's going to win maybe more than you, and that's all right. Just compete, because eventually if we can get in that competitive mindset, that gets us into a position where we might be the dudes. and then that'll help us be, the winners at that point. But we don't have control over that. And if we're worried about the result aspect of things, we're not going to get where we want to be with those results as fast as we would like or as quick as we would like, because we're not doing the stuff in between to get us there.
And this week, MFL Marmac going to be your opponent. Before we get down to the specific matchup, what made you keep MFL Marmac on the non-district schedule? I know you played them the last couple of years. What made them a good opponent for you in non-district play?
Yeah, they're one of the best programs in the area for the last 5-10 years, whatever you want to go back. Coach Anderson's done an outstanding job over there. We know we're going to see dudes that are going to be physical. They're going to be big. The style of offense they run will help prepare us for what we see and with some of our opponents that will, it'll matter once we get into district. And, I just have a lot of respect for what they've done. And obviously we haven't been able to beat them yet. Right. So it's like, why would you take someone off that, is better than you? Because playing against people that are better than you is what makes you better, right? And I will talk about it with our guys. I talk with our coaching staff. Like, if we didn't play our 3 teams that we played last year in non-district, I don't know if we win our playoff game last year. That obviously we wish we would have won some of those, but we didn't. And so, but we learned from it. We grew from it. Our guys were then in positions where they were in tough games, big games, tough situations. And then when it came to a situation where it was win or go home type of a deal, our guys were ready for that. And so we feel as though that MFL will be able to give us that, same style of situation, same style of game. And we're very excited for that.
And when you look at the matchup, I know you've got some holes to fill from graduation, as do they from last year. Both of you want to play physical football. Do you see a lot of similarities between the two programs with where you're at right now?
Yeah, absolutely. We both had a lot of seniors that did a lot of great things for 3-4 years. I know they had some dudes on their line that started for 3 years. I think one of them even maybe started for 4 that they're trying to replace. We had 2 of our linemen that started for 3 years. Obviously, you have for us replacing Aiden Skoda, who had 1,400 yards rushing last year, and they had their fullback that had over 1,000 yards, and we got to replace those things. And so, it's one of those situations where, we're very parallel in that deal. And, we both went to the same round of the playoffs last year in the round of 16 and so forth there. And so, there's a lot of similarities. And that's also kind of cool too, right? Like knowing that, hey, where do we stand up? Where do we stack with the development of our entire program, right? Like, we've got guys that, we got some seniors that'll be playing that have, be some of their first varsity action. They've been JV dudes for the last couple of years because they've had guys in front of them. And so it's like, okay, how have we developed those guys over the last 4 years? And so that's exciting for us as a coaching staff as well. And, we also know it's still week 1, right? And it's all about making sure that we can put our best foot forward once week 4 comes around. But at the same time, it does feel good to win. But we also know it's a process that we got to stay on top of and continue to grow and develop.
All right, Coach, hopefully you can get the season off to a good start this Friday night. Keep you guys healthy. We wish best of luck.
Thank you. Go Cadets.
Justin Denner, head coach of the Crestwood Cadets, brought to you by Wilson Custom Tree Service.